Play La Bamba, baby. The Oilers, they get it done in Ottawa, despite it being a little sketchy going into that third period. The game comes exactly down to the wire as it should for the Oilers, winning 6-3 in regulation. A big-time victory against the Ottawa Senators puts us, the story of this game, 1 point back of first place in the Pacific Division. How good does that feel? That's a massive time victory for our Edmonton Oilers and a big get, as now all of a sudden we're starting to put up point after point after point after point after point. And oh, by the way, that should indeed be victory number 30 of the NHL season for the Edmonton Oilers. So now all of a sudden you look at the math here. We've played 53 games, which means we have 29 remaining, and you need somehow, some way, 95 points minus 65. You need 30 points in 20 games remaining. You legitimately have to go 15 and 14 down the stretch for bare minimum the Oilers to make the playoffs. And obviously you win 20 out of these next 29, or you win 18 out of these next 29, we're guaranteed a top 3 spot within the Pacific Division. My friends, good afternoon. This is Dolynny TV. It's my pleasure to have you along this afternoon as we break down everything that happened in this crazy, wonderful hockey game between the Edmonton Oilers and Ottawa Senators. Before we get to that, though, I want to get to the housekeeping notes. All of you know this all too well if you're new to the channel. This is for you, my friends. Consider hitting that subscribe button. Trust me, you missed a heck of a stream today if you didn't know that I do live play-by-play streams for the Oilers. And oh, by the way, as well, it was a great time to hang out with everybody on a Saturday morning, and we get to do it all again tomorrow. All right, friends, what do we know about that Oilers game? Well, what do you know? What do you think? What are you throwing in the comments section there before I even start getting to my points? Well, what we do know is Jack Campbell, despite having a couple of sketchy goals against, he had a pretty stellar performance yet again, making the big saves when he needed to, right? The goals that beat him weren't really like high danger chances. They were just outside floaters or a kicked in puck. But hey, you know what? We'll take what Jack Campbell's given us, and that is wins, wins, and wins in the department of the Edmonton Oilers points factory. So we'll take that all day, and we're not going to complain too much about him. And secondary to Connor McDavid, Zach Hyman had tremendous nights. Brett Kulak had a 2-point night, and we'll break that all down in a matter of moments. But there's a couple of things we have to get to before then. Number one, we may have lost Klim Kostin to injury. Number two, we also lost Warren Foegele to injury last game after blocking a shot against the Philadelphia Flyers. And number three, Jesse Puljujarvi was in the lineup today because of that Foegele injury, and guess what? He scored. Yeah, that sounds unreal for a lot of Oilers fans to hear, but Jesse Puljujarvi scored a big goal, and it was, when I go to break this scoring summary down, it was a big goal. And of course today as well, another big moment for the Stelter Foundation as things continue to go along, and the Ben Stelter Foundation or fund or whatever it is doing its thing for that Oilers 50-50. All right, y'all ready to get this goal scoring recapped? It's Jack Campbell versus Anton Forsberg, despite that not being how it finished up. And with that, of course, of just hoping the best for Mr. Anton Forsberg, who looks to either have blown his knee out completely or have broken his leg in a collision with Zach Hyman in the crease on the Oilers' 6th goal of the hockey game. The Oilers double up on the Ottawa Senators 6-3 here in this hockey game, and obviously take home a much needed big time victory. But there's more to it than just a big time victory for the Oilers. There is some on the Ottawa Senators side as well. The Oilers started the goal scoring less than 2.5 minutes into the hockey game. It was a puck just flipped wide of the net by Leon Draisaitl. Connor McDavid fires it off the skate of Forsberg, who's turned around in the crease, and guess what? It goes back of the net for Connor McDavid's 42nd of the season. Zach Hyman draws assist number 35. Leon Draisaitl assist number 48 of the year. And then all of a sudden, just 21 seconds into the second period, Jake Sanderson off the face-off win walks into the zone, just kind of all by himself there, and just rips it home on Jack Campbell, his 3rd of the year assist to Matthew Joseph and Brady Tkachuk. It was a pretty fantastic shot, I will admit. And then Zach Hyman gets a penalty shot not even a minute and a half later. He goes, fakes the shot like he sold me, and then he goes backhand shelf on Forsberg to put the Oilers back up 2-1. And then about, you want to say 14 minutes later, the Oilers get going, shorthanded, and Ryan McLeod then goes and scores a big goal, his 10th of the year, right? 10th goal of the year on a just solo individual perfect effort against Thomas Chabot by Connor McDavid. Spinning, finding, backhand over to Ryan McLeod. McLeod the one time, 3-1 for the Edmonton Oilers. It was a beauty. Claude Giroux, his 21st of the season, comes just seconds later. Literally like 17 seconds later as the Senators again rush into the zone on a face-off win. Greg and Pinto, I didn't think this one was a power play goal. Apparently it was. It was just towards the tail end of that power play and I wasn't paying attention as he scores his 21st of the season, does Giroux, on the power play. And then all of a sudden, like, you know what, those last two goals kind of sucked because, right, it kicked in by Giroux, no challenge from the Oilers. And then just 3 minutes later, Eric Brandstrom scores his first of the year from Alex DeBrincat and Nick Holden. And, I mean, he just wired that thing home as well. Both the defensive goals for the Ottawa Senators today were just absolutely wired home, and it was kind of a theme, beating the goalie from out top. Like Jesse Puljujarvi comes down the wing, 3:05 on a beauty pass from Brett Kulak, head-man to head by Darnell Nurse to Kulak, then over to Jesse Puljujarvi. 3:05 into that third period, Puljujarvi just wires it home. 5th goal of the season. It was electric, and it was a feel-good moment. And that was a good sign for the Oilers to insert Puljujarvi in and get that kind of production. Derek Ryan scores his 8th and his first on the road of the year from Kulak and Evander Kane shorthanded. Kulak, perfect playmaking play, gets it in front of Derek Ryan, who just stabs the stick at it and pokes it past Mr. Anton Forsberg. And then, of course, Forsberg's injury occurs here against the Nugent-Hopkins goal. Zach Hyman bowls into the crease. He gets taken down with a cross-check into the numbers. Kind of one of those ride-you-down kind of cross-checks that just rode him right into Forsberg, twisted up Forsberg's leg and knee, and took about 5-10 minutes to get Forsberg up onto the stretcher, out of the building, and then for a second ambulance to come in, and finally, right, it all kind of came together, and the Oilers were able to carry on. The goal was reviewed, no goalie interference. It was a good goal. Nuge's 24th of the season, Draisaitl's 49th assist, and Connor McDavid now soundly at 97 points on the season. You love to see it, friends. That's how it wrapped up for the Oilers, who outshot the Senators 40-29. 34-25 the hits for the Sens, who were very physical this game despite me really not noticing it. Face-offs were pretty much dead even. Special teams pretty much dead even. There was a great fight in the game between Tkachuk and Kane. If you watched the second period opening face-off, you would have seen both of them kind of, hey, like, are we going to do this tonight, or are we going to talk about doing this? And then later in that second period, they ended up going, and that Kane fight really ignited kind of what became a little bit more passionate of a game, turned into a beauty down the stretch, as Jack Michaels said on Twitter, and it worked out in the Oilers' favor, 6-3. Klim Kostin, though, was injured in this hockey game, so that's something to watch for. And I think, too, something that I need to mention that I mentioned in the stream, Cody Ceci had a pretty good game himself, doing the little things right, and it translated out. All culminated together to a 6-3 victory for our Edmonton Oilers this afternoon. Friends, I'm Tyson, this is Dolynny TV. Thank you so much for tuning in. I'm going to go get that fried chicken now. I'm up on out of here.